Yo, yo, yo. This is Alpha Kingdom. We got a late night special with my girl Topaz presents. We're going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes the biggest mistakes that men make when it comes to dating or even proposition dating and how to fix it. How you doing, Topaz? You gonna go with
Hey,
what?
how are you? How's your day in this cold weather?
Good. You look mean right there. You ain't got no picture smiling.
That is me smiling. And my teeth out and everything.
Hold on, let me see.
That might be the wrong one.
Look at
There
that.
was another
I know
one.
I ain't crazy.
Huh?
I know I ain't. I don't see no teeth at all.
That's supposed to be a different one. It was the one directly next to that one.
It's all good. So you being a seasoned woman and in and out the dating scene and all of that, like what will be one thing that you felt is a trigger, and maybe you talk to some of your girlfriends and they've got agreed upon this of something that men do that is just like almost a deal breaker. Yeah.
Well, okay, so for myself as well as other people, other women that I've talked to is not listening. So one of the best things that men can do is listen to who it is that you're talking to, especially whether you want to have a long-term relationship with that woman or not. It could be you listening to know whether you need to eliminate her or not. So when men aren't listening and they have their mindset on one result before they even talk to the woman, it to me it indicates you're not able to think on your feet, and usually men make some kind of weird mistake, and it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah. Okay. I would add this about the men not listening. So I would say to dudes, you have to individually date who it is you're dating or pursuing, because what your ex like and she loved it, this woman right here might not necessarily like that, and you just can't assume that just because you may have got good results and then cheated, but you were getting good results though. So don't just assume that all women like the same thing. Like all women don't like gifts. I mean, obviously, a gift is something cool, but that's not going to hit the way you think it is if it's not the right chick. So you got to understand the person who you're dealing with, and that takes time. So that'd be mine to put a cap on that one.
Hey,
So
that
what's
was on my list too. And the example I was gonna give is because I don't like flowers, right? I have allergies. And so you give me live flowers and I'm all stuffed up and sneezing and coughing all day. And it's just not fun, But I've actually had men to tell me what kind of woman doesn't like flowers. They just assume that they see these commercials, they hear groups of women say, "Oh, so beautiful." But yeah, you have to date the woman that you're actually dating, not just know a bunch of generic things about women and try to apply that to everybody.
cool, cool, cool. So you piggybacked off mine right there. You got to come up with a whole nother separate one. What's another thing that these cats be doing? Like the DM stuff or what they be saying. I think you said something about the business. What was that about?
Oh yeah, so I don't like when men use like a way to get in and then like try to segue that. So I was telling you about this story about where I ordered DoorDash and the guy like was he got my number off the app. And so then after he delivered the food, he literally I feel like he did it on purpose because he literally waited until the time was closed where I couldn't go back and edit the order or anything, and then text me on my personal number asking if we could be friends or we could go out or whatever. And so I've had men actually, like when I approached them on business opportunities, they would, to me, what it felt like is they would be like, yeah, well, fuck the business. I need to get your number. I literally had an experience where I went out, I was at work, I went out to a group home to try to talk to this guy about providing therapy. And he was like, yeah, well, I actually didn't call you for business today. I actually was calling you to see if I could take you to lunch. And so I asked him, I said, because I didn't want to jump to conclusions. I said, okay, well, you are trying to discuss the contract over lunch? And he was like, no, I actually want to get to know you. So that enrages me because I feel small. I feel unheard. I do still have a life. And if I'm dating someone, like, do I always have to lie and say I'm in a relationship of some kind in order to just have a normal life? So yeah, I don't like when men use those terrible segues to try to get in, and then all they care about is what they want at the time. That's all that matters.
All right, let me see your smiling picture. You said it was right next to it. Let me see the other option you have.
Okay, so I'm going to have to let's
No,
see.
if you gotta do hella extra shit, all I gotta do is press the button. I thought it was simple.
At the bottom, the little star cam. Oh, see, no, see, that's why. Now we're gonna have to start over.
Hey, yeah. See how I showed y'all naked girls? Super chat.
uh, no, now we're gonna have to edit that part out. So that's why, yeah, I can't.
No, you couldn't see nothing otherwise.
You're gonna leave that? No, we can't. Listen, you'll never be able to. You'll never hear the end of that shit, or either I'll never hear the end of that.
I don't even. Hold on. What? I was just playing. you was naked. I was just joking around.
Yeah, listen, it's cold and I just took a hot shower to make myself feel better. So I am currently in a robe, chilling.
Oh, man, get out of here. Anyways, you made it seem like you flashing something. It ain't nothing.
Okay,
Uh,
well,
okay, boom. Let me counter what you said though. So, and I can contest to this. What if, like, some guys, it may start off on some business shit, but then they really catch your vibe, or you really the type of woman that they would date, or you have that type of attraction that they're attracted to, and that may not necessarily be their. They didn't plot on that, but just like, okay, well, ooh, okay, and now you want to something. So what about that?
well, I would prefer to close the business out. So I like closing one door before you open another one. So then that means you hold all of that to yourself until we finish the business, because I don't like things to be messy. I don't want it to be combined. I don't want it to be messy. Then, people, I don't know. I don't really trust that people can keep things separate and compartmentalize the way it needs to be in order to make sure that we still get the results. So, in the example that I was talking about with the group home, these are kids whose lives are in the balance of this. We need to get this done. And sure, he could hire another therapist or whatever, but now I'm going to feel some type of way about missing out on money. So, I mean, you dated me, that needs to make up for that, because what happens if we date and then we break up? So, I would say close out the business first, and then we could talk about all of that. But even then, there's a part of me that feels like, with all of the women on the planet, you couldn't have just picked somebody else. If this is the way that we met, this was the way that we were supposed to interact.
Let me ask you this: since I ain't go. I mean, you probably talked about it in your channel, but you've done your nun mode, and you uh, now partaking in dating, and then maybe you try to start dating again. When you take that kind of time off, what is your outlook on dating? Because sometimes you're so in the dating scene or so in the relationship scene and vibe, and you go from one to another. When you take a step back, like, how did that change you? Like, what matters to you now? What's the difference?
Well, okay, so I'll tell you this. So I went 7 years without a single date, without any type of relationship activities at all, right? So I will say that when I came back
I'm
to
gonna tell you this right now. So I'm
huh?
not I'm not about to be blocking people because people ain't gonna say it's cap. Now,
I know.
I'm just telling you, when you come in the comment section and somebody challenge that, I'm not about to be all in there with that shit. I know how niggas is, and you do too. So just expect it.
Right. No, I get that, because it's hard to believe, but here's the thing that they don't understand. Unless you've actually done it, then you'll realize that it gets easier as time goes on. Like at the first
Like
year
you
was,
get notifications and it's your ass going back and forth with niggas, that's on you. I'm telling
I'm
you,
not
don't.
gonna go back and forth with these niggas. What I am gonna do is block their ass, though, because here's the thing: I don't have a reason to lie to people on YouTube. So with that being said, the first year was the hardest, and then after that, it got easier because I found stuff that I was interested in and that I had fun doing, and then you don't even notice, like, the time starts to fly by. So what I will say, that the way that it changed me though was I was a lot more positive when I came back to the dating scene. And honestly, I wasn't even trying to come back to the dating scene. It just so happened, you know. So you know how they say like a watch pot never boils, right? So I wasn't watching out for men that I could be dating, and so then it was nothing to just say no to a date or whatever with a guy who I got a bad vibe from. You feel basically you make your choices more closely related to what you actually believe. So I was able, like, men, I don't know, after the 5 year mark, they just start falling out the sky, right? And so them last 2 years, I literally had to be like no to a whole lot of people,
Let's
and
start
then
falling out.
finally there was
Start
somebody
falling
that
out
did
the sky.
right.
What start falling out the sky?
Men.
Oh, dicks or just dudes?
Well, I don't know what they were trying to offer him, because here's the thing. When they came up to me and they were trying to talk to me, if I got a bad vibe, I just was like, no, we don't need to keep talking at all, you know? And then it was so much easier. There wasn't this pressure. So I was a lot more positive minded whenever I did start dating somebody. I think that it is necessary for women to take a step back so that you're not bringing the same things that happened in the past relationships to the next person. You don't have to take 7 years. I just kind of got comfortable and, found a bunch of stuff that I was interested in doing. But you do need to take some time till you can get back to what it is you actually like. Then that way you can make better decisions. You're not making decisions out of spite or trying to win over the last person.
All right. Can I take the driver's seat real quick? I need to drive real quick.
Okay.
This is the thing too, players. You gotta learn how to have masculine frames. See, y'all be thinking the masculine frame is how much money y'all got in the bank and the job title that y'all have. You feel me? I'm executive director of Spoon Swab Puku Papa. Okay, now she looking at you like, okay, I'm about to make this nigga spend some money then, because you led with it so fast. That's why. I mean, if that is with you, man, you got to put some finesse on it. Let her find out after day 2 and shit. You get on the phone and you tell these women your life goddamn stories, everything, every single thing, before y'all even hang out. You didn't tell them about how everything, bro. How in the 6th grade your mama had to come get you because you was an alpha back then and shit. You want to get stories to fucking match that you alpha, but when she tell you to shut up, you tell her yes, ma'am. So your behavior don't match. You may make $100 grand a year, and you may have a Porsche and all of that shit. And sometimes when y'all hit me up, I can tell just by the way y'all talk to me that y'all can be like pushovers and real passive and shit by how y'all asking me questions and shit. And I'm not like shitting on people. I just assess people, and that's what it is. You feel me? You're not direct in what you want to say, and you kind of like want to. Sometimes Topaz, I be having to like get the questions out of their asses because I done heard so many stories of the same shit that I just gotta finish their fucking sentence. Like, oh yeah, and she did this, and this. I got it. Okay, now let's move because it's the same shit, But what do you feel about that? About just guys just expressing themselves too much and not holding frame?
Well, you know what? And I've always felt like that was a problem. And so, at work, I do tell people that as well. Like, start off with giving the amount of information that you are comfortable with them knowing. And whatever they do with it, you know how to respond, because you can't control whether somebody's going to use that information for good or bad, especially when you just telling your whole life story on the first date or whatever. You don't know what that person's intentions are for you. So you give out the information that you feel like is worth it. Now, let me ask you, have you gotten the same pushback that I've gotten? So the reason why I don't really do a whole lot of male clients is because their answer, when I tell them don't give out your whole life story, don't show up with your credit report and your bank statement on the first date, their answer to that is, and I tell them also, don't tell a whole bunch of stories about why you broke up with your ex. Their answer to that is, well, I don't want this woman playing games, so I'm gonna just start off and tell them exactly what I like and what I don't like. Okay, well, do you want your enemy knowing what you like and don't like? You don't know if this person is going to be your enemy or not. And you saying all of that, all you're doing is giving them the blueprint, and now they're in the control seat at this point. So, I feel like maybe it'll be better coming from you than it would be coming from me. But that's the pushback that I always got, is they feel like that's the best answer, that cuts through the BS. But no, there's no shortcuts. You can't cut through the BS. Okay, you're supposed to be paying attention, and it's supposed to be a back and forth, because that keeps you from going too far or from going too little. If that person is talking way more than you are, then they're doing too much. And if you're talking way more than they are, then you're doing too much. Either way, the other person is now in control, because information is power.
Okay, now let's play tennis. You want to play tennis?
I actually used to play tennis in high school.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and if I don't know, she's a therapist. I forgot to say that in the beginning. That's why I wanted to have her on here talking. My bad. You know, we win some, we lose some, but I think y'all can connect the dots on your own now. God damn it, what was I gonna say?
Well, we talk about men who talk too much, and yeah, that's not a good thing.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, boom, I got it. Pick right up. Thank you for that assist. So now, saying that you don't want to say too much. On the flip side, do you turn down natural chemistry to keep a little mystery? Or if it presents itself, you just roll with it?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, a lot of people, I don't want my previous statement to be taken like everybody's supposed to be playing games, because at some point you're an adult and you know what you want. You know, living in your authenticity, your genuineness, that is going to get you the best results. And somebody can either handle it or they don't. So I don't think it's a good idea to start playing games. If it pops up and you cool with it, go ahead and roll with it, because that's who you truly are. But don't pretend to be cool with something, or pretend not to be cool with something to put on a role, because now what you're going to get is somebody that matches that role, not somebody that matches you.
So you got a little finesse game now.
I mean, I've been told that, but I don't actually try to finesse people.
Because that's how you do.
I am me, okay? And then the people that like me stay, and those who don't go. That's where I'm at. That is something that comes from taking a step back too.
I didn't know you was an expert level finesse. Now I gotta side eye you and tell me stuff.
Well, I wanted to feel that way, because people like to feel like they're being catered to, okay? And and as a Southern woman, I do enjoy that. So I will give you that part.
That's the part I can have.
Yeah. Well, you know what? No. Anyway, we're not gonna do that on the stream. But okay, let's go ahead with the topic.
All right. Like for me, I don't. To me, it gotta be a certain thing, or not a thing, but certain things that if I connect with somebody on just something kind of random, like let's say I meet a chick and I don't know, somehow wrestling come up and it comes up that she's like a for real wrestling person. I won't cut that conversation off because I want to, be, I can't talk to her for an hour. Like, no, I will talk to her about wrestling for an hour.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what it means to go with the flow, because if y'all are both interested in it and she's as interested as she says she is, then this is time that's going to pass by fast, like fun for both of y'all. So yeah, now you can't overly rely on it. You still got to have other conversations, but there's no rule that says they have to happen right now. So I would say, yeah, go with that. You're not supposed to cut that conversation off.
Yeah, and I apologize. When you got quiet, you didn't realize because I put this super seductive energy. When I changed the background, this became powerful. You see how it changed?
Yeah, listen. If our pictures were not here, this picture would be staring into my soul and whatnot.
Yeah, and our eyes we are the pupils to my face. Mm-hmm. See, so my energy swarmed over you like the spaceships of Independence Day. That you just looked up, I was just all over. You didn't even know. It just got dark. My presence, the energy.
Yeah, you know what? I can't tell you what second you actually changed it, but I did notice it. I don't know. All right. I see what you're doing. Okay. I get it. I hear you.
Double time and double time in the right corner too. In case people couldn't configure who that is.
Just to help out the people in the back. Okay.
Even though your channel is Topaz Presents, I think I'm gonna tag you for the record since that's where you most uh, active. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah,
these people come to your channel and see you ain't uploaded and be like, "Fuck her."
well, and you know what, and the reason I will say that I'm glad you did this topic because I don't really get to talk about human nature and human behavior, and that's what my channel was supposed to be about, because people are always so angry when I tell them the truth, and I know I don't handle being like yelled at very well, so I actually took a break from my channel. So yeah, I'm more on the For the Record TV channel because they can deal with the arguments and going back and forth with people. I'm not gonna do it.
You ain't never even had me over there.
Huh?
You ain't never even had me on there before.
I had you on my channel.
Okay, the one that ain't active.
Oh, you know what? Okay, you know what? You never clicked the link. I'm gonna tell you right now, they would love to have you click the link one week and come up there and talk. Like I will say that. So all you gotta do is click the link. You ain't even gotta announce or make an appointment.
Okay, and I ain't gonna do none of it. Look, I'm gonna help you out. Yeah, I'm just gonna come in and just open where they're fine.
Right. Well, I'm telling you, not gonna get no pushback on it. So
look at this though. So since you ain't active on your main channel, boom. This album put you in the game. You download this, boom. That feedback, you're gonna get some energy. Now the X upload gonna come faster now. So this is your new video. You download this, drop this on your channel.
Okay, and you know what? And I did say that I was gonna do like uploads only. I wasn't gonna do the panels anymore, and I was gonna do some shorts. So yeah.
Or you can break this up into 10, however you want.
Okay, that's a good plan. I do think I should get back into uploading and the subject matter and everything. But see, this is what I'm saying. Like when you take a break from something, you get comfortable. So yeah.
Yeah, your juices back flowing.
Yeah, and I have this app that gives me like news story updates, and I've been thinking about some things I wanted to talk about, and so yeah. The goal was in January.
Oh yeah. And that's next week. See, I didn't even know that. That's
yeah.
The universe.
We got 7 days left, and that's it.
All right, let's think of one more. What's one more thing that cats do that's just kind of annoying? Press a relationship too fast. What matter of fact, let me even ask you: Do dudes do that?
Yes, they do. I've been yelled at plenty of times.
You know,
so I'm gonna tell you why, right? I was always raised that you don't press a man for a relationship. If he wanted to be with you, he would make it known. So I've been yelled at by men by saying I'm acting aloof or I am acting clueless or whatever. I've had a man that actually yelled at me and said, "I'm trying to be in a relationship with your ass," and I was like, "Oh, well, I didn't know because you didn't say those words, you know." So my thing was going with the flow up to a point, right? Everything is respectful. And then if he wants to be with you, he will say it. So yeah, there are men that press for relationships like very, very soon. And then there are some that are mad at you as the woman because you're not pressing for a relationship. So yeah, there are men out here that act like that.
I got a bomb ass question. This is gonna help y'all players in the chat out. This is a good question right here. Other than commitment. Okay, boom. That was your 5. Now I'm saying something else. Other than commitment, what's the difference between the girlfriend version of Topaz and the wife version of Topaz?
Well, I wouldn't say that there's the difference would be intensity, right? So as the girlfriend version of Topaz, I still do things like cater to him, listen to him, try to learn him, make sure he feels happy and uplifted and that he feels confident and he goes out there and he takes care of business, right? I'm still supportive. But as the wife, I'm more all in. The girlfriend holds back a little bit just because I have to survive if he doesn't choose me to be a wife.
Okay, as a wife though, what's gonna stop you from being comfortable? Is
Stop
it
me.
gonna take? Is it gonna take you, or is it gonna take a certain type of cat? Like, is it a certain type of cat that's gonna have to do certain things to keep you activated, or are you the type of person that's gonna keep things activated on your own part?
Well, no, it's not about what he does to keep me activated. For me, it's about my belief system. And so I just believe that there's a certain role that you play that like okay, so there's, in my job there's this thing called schema therapy, and it just means you have life scripts, right? And so I actually was believing that before I even found the field is that when you're in certain roles, you do certain things. There's a job description for everything that you do. When you're a mother, there's a job description. When you're a girlfriend, when you're a wife, when you are a member of community, your job, there's all these job descriptions. And so I would rest easy at night knowing I did what I was supposed to do. And so he doesn't have to keep me activated. Now, what he does need to do is not try to make me feel like I'm, like I don't have the role anymore. So if I am like and I'm divorced or whatever. I've talked about this on my channel before. So the thing that made me opt out of the marriage was not being treated as a wife anymore. So if you feel like divorce is impending, then it's kind of like you still being a wife is at that moment is A, annoying to the guy that's getting ready to divorce you, and B, not necessarily good for your survival.
Hello? Hey, what happened?
No, I'm still here. That was the end of the statement.
Oh, I thought it froze out. It threw me off a little bit. Um,
Mm-mm.
okay, okay. Well,
Basically, he doesn't have to activate me. He just has to not deactivate me.
why I say hello?
Well, maybe you were coming back. Okay, there's a reason.
All right. Well, let's end it with this. Now, everybody has their own nuances of attraction and things of that nature. It could be tall. It could be a job. It could be a man with kids. It could be a man without kids. It could be a football field. Just whatever lane you want to say it. What are like 5 to 7 things that you find you per se you not women but you find attractive in a man?
Well, first and foremost is intelligence, right? Like, so the money and all of that comes secondary. And the reason is because a smart man can always get money.
Oh,
And basically, he can also teach me things. So if he can't get money, I can get money, in the interim. So I just feel like that is the thing in life that gives you the most protection, brains over brawn, right? I don't necessarily have 5 to 7 things. So the first one is intelligence. The second one is respect. Third is awareness, right? Because I need you to be able to pay attention to things. I need you to be able to have discernment. I need you to know what's going on. Um, all these things, all three of those just kind of still relates to some type of intelligence. I will say I do like a smart man. I've
you just
dated a dumb dude
sapio,
one time in my
sapio,
life. I'll never do it again.
you a sapiosexual. That's cool. I am too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to go without having that when you had it.
Yeah, like that's everything for me. Like, I don't know. I will never date an unintelligent dude again. I can't do it. I
Because
know me now.
look, I can have a baddie, right? And then if she ain't that smart, I'm gonna just be so unfulfilled because there's so many conversations I know I can't have with her.
You ever had somebody on a date with you and then they try to read something and they stumbling and they don't remember like the sounds of letters and stuff, and I just like at that moment a part of my soul dies and I'm cringing and I have to get out of there. So like I need that to happen. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm not gonna be I mean I'm gonna be respectful, but I'm not gonna be inviting. I'm gonna be looking for my exit, right? So that was 3. Resourceful, driven, and I do want to say that driven came as number 5 because what's the point of being driven if you're not smart about it, if you don't know what you're driven towards, if you're picking dumbass ideas that were just, doomed from the beginning. So yeah, driven is in there. Then I guess the looks and the money is afterwards. But
Well, like what is attractive to a man? Like what you look at his feet first, you look at his teeth, his hair,
oh,
like what
like appearance, his face. I can't. I'm gonna need to look you in your face. I believe in eye contact. I want to talk to you. I want to pay attention to you. All the rest of that stuff, like the clothing, that could be fixed. You know, his shoes. I mean, he could. We could just buy you new shoes. You know, I need to be able. I need you to have a face that I can pay attention to, that I can look at.
I changed the face. You like that one?
Okay, so in this picture, I mean, you looking like, okay, you going or what?
I'm looking like Big Daddy. Get your ass out. Yeah, I do look like that. Bitch, you coming or not? And then afterwards, man, she was hella away. And then
Yeah, see,
now I gotta get back in the streets and give me some more rotation.
no, there's a story. There's a whole storyline that you're going through with these pictures.
And it's just like, all right, man, I got the eye of the tiger. Then after that, that's time for a month more. We got to write more books because I am the champion. Because I got the belt, I'm the best talker, and because I am international, just like right there on the Great Wall. So there's just
Right.
you see how easy it is for a pimp. Look at that. Told y'all a whole story on just off avatars. Did you
Wait,
like?
hold on. But you said, okay, so did you say
Did you
monk
like?
mode at one point?
Huh?
Did you say monk mode at one point?
Yep.
Oh, so you understand.
I did one before. That's what I was on the monk mode when I was putting on my books at first.
Yep, exactly. Then you get to be driven. You get to do something that's for you. It gives you confidence. It gives, lifts your spirits. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't getting no booty. It was a planned one though. I wasn't. It wasn't that I was so busy that I didn't have time. Like I planned it. Like I'm gonna do 6 months without. And
Right.
so it was
Okay,
actually,
so did it end directly after 6 months, or did you go a little over?
I think I went like 9 months, and I had like one little failure or whatever. In between that.
Well, but you meant for 6 months and you ended up doing 9 because you get comfortable, right? Mm-hmm. And you want to see an end to all your projects and things that you started during that time.
Yeah, I think I know what you were trying to ask me. You were trying to ask me like why I started back like that. That's what you mean or no?
Why did what?
Like how did I start back after the monk mode or what?
No, I was just, pointing out the fact that it is necessary sometimes for people to take a step back, and that if you plan for 6 months, sometimes you go 9 without realizing it.
People don't do monk mode. All they be doing is they stop dating and they just start stacking your money. That ain't helping you accomplish shit, but your bank account. That ain't
right.
Feeding your soul. That's not structuring your goals. That's not coming up with a plan.
There's no introspection.
Yeah, they'll just be like, all right, I might just work hella overtime, and then they just be stacking their money. And then what you say, I don't know.
Why? It's because their heart is still caught up in the rat race of getting some booty. They didn't do it for the right reason.
They just blame it on the grind, and that's all. But what are you grinding for? That's what you need to figure out.
Exactly.
Even if it's for a new couch, just know it's for the new couch, whatever it is. You grinding to get a new dog. You grinding to get a PS3. Don't just be exchanging all your time for money, and you ain't even working towards that. You just doing it just to keep yourself busy. So when niggas ask you what you up to, you can say 3 or 4 things.
Right, and money changes value. So you could start out with a dollar amount that you're trying to get to, but it ain't gonna mean the same once you get there, because money changes over time. One other thing I did want to say is, one last thing that is a turnoff for men is being overly obsessed with the acquisition of sex. Like, if that's all you can think about, if that's your entire life's purpose, if that's how you value your manhood, is how many women that you can get in your bed, I personally have nothing to talk to you about. And that is something that I find is different between me and other women, is because they view that as, oh, well, this man is good at talking to women, so he'll know how to make me feel comfortable. But he's not good at talking to women. He's good at using women. And also, he's not good at making any connections. So a man who is so obsessed with sex will throw away his entire soul to get it. And I just can't be near that. Right? You start chipping away at a cliff, you don't control how far in it crumbles. You could be standing at a place that you thought was safe, and then you crumble along with him. So I personally wouldn't want anything to do with a man that is overly obsessed with sex. If sex rules his life, we don't have nothing to talk about.
All right, well, I think that was a good chop up, an excellent chop up. Matter of fact, appreciate you giving me your time.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yep. So let the people know, anything coming up and where can they reach you?
So I am gonna start back uploading on my channel in January, but it's gonna be uploads only. I don't know when I'll start back the panels. I just kind of need to get my voice out there first, because with panels, people have a tendency to take over. But in the meantime, For the Record TV will be going live again starting January 7th. We go live at Saturday afternoons.
All right, cool. Damn it, dog. All right, well, make sure you guys like the video, share the video with people that may love or need to hear it, or you just want to see it. As for me, follow me on Instagram at International AFI, and also AFI Kingdom Books. You can follow me there for all my cover updates and free books sometimes, and just exclusive content all the way around. If you want to book a consultation one-on-one, about books, it could be about mindset, it could be about game. You may just want to vent to me and just know that I'm going to trust you and keep it 100 with you. You hit the dominancemindset.org. We have a consultation there. Follow me on Amazon. I got 2 new books coming out in 2 weeks, actually less than 2 weeks. Hell, Sex, and Sacrifice, and International King. And I might even switch that up, put Tales of Success on there too. Just depending on how things go. Look out for the children's book. If you want to email me, want to sponsor a video, Mr. King Feed 101 at gmail.com. And the cash app is $Afi Kingdom. Y'all have a good night. Happy holidays and